Hey everyone. Let's talk today about navigating 2025's chaos with inner wisdom. And I am speaking to you today from my background of being brought up in the United States since a young child in a Tibetan Buddhist community where I was gratefully exposed to a deep level of wisdom through the Tibetan Buddhist teachings. And I hope to be able to bring through some of that deeper peace and wisdom to you through this discussion today. So, we are living in an accelerating world that is filled with really an increasing number of modern dilemmas. I think that it's important for us to touch in on the actual feeling level of this constant change, this increasing change. Things like the advancements in AI and climate concerns and social upheaval in so many parts of the world. This is a profound level of change, and it's worth taking a moment just to acknowledge that and to be present with that. And as a result of so much change, there's been increasing levels of overwhelm and anxiety. And I think there's so many places where we can see that. But perhaps for the purpose of our discussion today, the most important place is to acknowledge what has been happening for you in your heart space in terms of your response to this constant increasing level of change. Have you been feeling overwhelmed at times? Have you been feeling greater levels of anxiety in certain areas of your life? And to bring a compassionate hand to your heart in response to what you have been experiencing yourself. I would like to put out a question. Where do you find stability amidst this chaos? So I would love for you to even go down into the comments and to post a response right now. Where do you find stability in the midst of all this chaos? So while you are sharing your ideas in the comments below, I'm going to share some of my ideas. And again, I really hope that this is going to be helpful to you. So I would like to bring forward an idea of ancient echoes and timeless truths. There are ancient wisdom traditions like Buddhism and Taoism that teach about impermanence and change, that this is an inherent part of life on this planet, is that impermanence, things will be born, things will die, and change, that there is a constant change happening, which really challenges that part of ourselves or our minds that wants things to just stay the way that they are, or wants things to get back to the way that they were. This idea that actually life is about constant change and impermanence really challenges that parts of us, the parts that want that for things just to always stay the same. You know, like we aspire for this perfect, the perfect marriage to the perfect person, and then lock it in, just keep it there for the rest of our lives. And unfortunately, that is a grand illusion, delusion. There is constant change. Both people in a marriage they're evolving. They are changing. They're becoming more of who they are, or maybe they're making the choice of becoming less of who they are. But there's always going to be this element of change. And we can become such deeper human beings if we acknowledge that things are always changing. And we can perhaps, rather than fighting the change, we can maybe even dance with the change and maybe even enjoy the change. So, a lot of developing the ability to dance and enjoy change has to do with our ability to do our inner cultivation It's really easy to get sucked into the outer world and trying to control the outer world. And I have been teaching for months on this channel about the importance of developing our inner cultivation, our inner world, creating peace within ourselves. And from that place, then acting and speaking in the world. And so this is really in contrast to controlling the world. It really is about taking responsibility and working with our own heart and bringing forward a deeper connection with our own wisdom. And from there, being able to act in the world with greater compassion and greater skill. So I had mentioned about the teachings of Buddhism and Taoism around impermanence. And of course, other religious traditions also have so much to offer. I have really enjoyed my studies and practices of the teachings of Saint Ignatius of the Catholic tradition. And Ignatius, he talked about developing the ability to reflect within yourself. He taught in such a deep and really practical way to help the people of his time step out of this sort of total external focus and to be able to bring attention inward to understanding what he called the good spirit and the false spirit or the evil spirit. So it really takes looking within to be able to discern between the good spirit and the evil spirit. The good spirit being that which is in alignment with God's will, that is in alignment with what's healthy for you, what is uplifting, and what is beauty filled. And the evil spirit being that which takes you away from God's love, that takes you away from your health. So it could be like, grabbing a Snickers bar and eating it for like a temporary satisfaction in the moment. But ultimately, it's going to impact the health of your body, taking all that sugar into your body. So the evil spirit being more associated with the ego and the good spirit being connected with God, with what is life affirming. So there are many traditions that we can tap into that have this kind of reflective wisdom that can be so helpful right now. And so basically these traditions, they have universal principles that are transcending the specific eras and are really applicable and can be helpful for what we're going through right now. So what we're going through right now, a big part of it is this how we navigate this digital deluge, and that being in balance with having a sense of inner peace and in connection with the world. So if you think about what's going on social media, including YouTube and in the media itself, it's like this deluge of all this information and energies that can not only overwhelm us, but even disconnect ourselves from ourselves. It can cause us to be disconnected from who we are, what matters to us, our values. And that is a real concern of taking in such constant levels of really a mix of information, some of it true, some of it not so true, and some of it also having an energy of trying to manipulate. And I know that you're already aware of this. I'm just saying what we already know. And so these reflective traditions, historical traditions, can help for us to be able to relate and navigate better through this sort of digital deluge. So practices like mindfulness can be so helpful in a time like this. And as well, doing conscious detachment from digital sources of information. So doing a digital detox can be really, really helpful. And I've been talking with people and they have said, I just took the weekend off from social media and I feel so much better. So even doing a digital detox has become a spiritual practice. It helps you to come back into connection with who you are and how you're feeling and being in your body and not being overwhelmed by all this information coming at you. Just saying, going to take a break from this for now. And then if you bring in practices like mindfulness, then that helps you to work with your mind. It helps you to be able to develop more of a sense of perspective instead of just feeling like you're in defense mode, dealing with all this stuff coming at you. It helps you to actually take your seat, take your place on this world, and to own the beautiful place that is so important for you to take on this world. I know in Buddhism, they can talk about taking your seat as if sitting on a throne. And it's because you belong to this world. You belong to this earth. And you have special gifts that this earth needs for you to bring forward. So it's very important for you not to be kind of swept off your feet. It's very important for you to take your seat, your throne, your place on this earth, your unique place, because you have unique things to bring to this world. So that's why it's so important to be practicing things like mindfulness meditation, so that you can reclaim your authentic place on this world and be bringing your gifts into this world. And so there, as I said, there are a number of traditions that offer teachings and guidance for being able to develop that sense of discernment and intentional focus within this hyper-connected world. So would also like to talk about an important area of redefining success beyond materialism. So I would like to challenge conventional ideas of success, like how many automobiles you own, how many houses you own. This is in the face of resource scarcity and climate change. It's really important for us to challenge these old views of what success is. And I would like to introduce a more spiritual perspective that is based in true fulfillment and purpose and contribution. So, things that are taught in ancient wisdom traditions, they encourage generosity and community and ecological harmony. And I think that even as you take a moment to connect with things like that, it feels so much better in your heart. You are able to contribute to this world when you're coming from a place that is healthy, real well-being within your heart. And the more that you can do to cultivate that inner health and that inner well-being, honestly, the more success you will have in this world. Things that will really, in the long scheme of things, be meaningful to you. So contributions to your community, care for this earth, and just acting with generosity on a daily basis with the people in your lives and even to yourself. These are the things that add true meaning to your life. And when eventually you come to the end of your life on your deathbed, these are the things that you'll look back on and you will feel good about. You will feel, I have lived a good life. It is not going to come from owning a lot of cars and owning a lot of houses. When you think about that place on your deathbed, that is the true measure for what will you remember at that point that will be meaningful and bring joy to your heart. Those are the things that you need to cultivate doing now so that your life is filled with that kind of meaning, and that is what is truly a successful life. So, your anchor in the storm would like to offer some practical wisdom for today and provide some actionable steps for integrating spiritual wisdom into your daily life. What I would like to put forward, and this may seem like nothing to some of you, and it may seem impossible to others of you, what I'd like to put forward is the first step is to allocate an hour every day for quiet spiritual connection. Most people find doing this early in the morning is the best time to do it before the world gets busy, before their kids get up, and just taking that quiet hour to be in connection with your own spiritual self and in connection with the divine and, with God or source, however you envision that. That 1 hour is going to be the most important hour of your day. It is going to create an anchor of connection and peace from which you'll be able to make wise decisions throughout the day. Wise decisions in terms of working with your thoughts, wise decisions in what you say to others, and wise decisions in what actions you choose to do through the day. That 1 hour is going to be the most important hour of your day. And I would also like to suggest accessible practices for cultivating inner resilience and peace, because I think that these are two really important strengths to have in this time for navigating the chaos that we are experiencing. And I'm going to put it bluntly, mindfulness meditation is the best tool for being able to develop peace and resilience. Mindfulness meditation is designed to slow your mind down. It will slow down the way that your thoughts leap from one thing to another, and it will help you to connect with the truth of who you are. And I don't mean in an intellectual way, I mean feeling it. When you slow down and practice mindfulness meditation, you connect in a feeling way with who you truly are. All of that speed gets deflated. It's like a balloon that gets deflated, and you come to rest with who you are. You get to know who you are on a feeling and a textural way. It is really so powerful for developing greater peace and resilience. So if you think about it, when your mind is scattered and something really shocking happens, it can break you. You may have to even shut down for a few days. It's like taking a china cup and dropping the china cup on the floor and it just shatters. In contrast, when you are having a regular mindfulness meditation practice, you are developing an inner softness, an inner workability within your heart mind. And so when that shocking thing happens, then it's like having a lacquer cup. If you drop it on the floor, it bounces, it does not break. That is what mindfulness meditation does for our minds. It gives us that bounciness so that we can bounce with the challenges and make our way through them. It is an amazing technique to bring forward your resilience. So I'd just like to basically reiterate the main message of what I'm bringing in this video today is that while the world changes, your inner compass can remain steady. And there are so many wisdom traditions that support that as being possible and give ways to be able to do that. So if you liked this video, I would love it if you would hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I am bringing forward another video every week with this kind of guidance and suggestions for things that you can work with to navigate these times in a better way. And if you would like to have a taste of this level of peace right now, I invite you to take a look at my video called Meditation, a quick connect to inner peace. And I think that you will be pleasantly surprised at how quickly you can connect, no matter what state you're in, with a much deeper level of peace. So I look forward to your comments, and I look forward to seeing you soon on another video.